It's been a very, very long road. What we thought was going to be a 3 or 4 month deal to get off the ground has escalated into a 12-month endeavor. As we're sitting here tonight, we got about 4 more days until we're leaving for Europe, and we're getting ready to kick off something very, very special.
We are shooting SMS 2011 Mustang, twin turbocharged, for a feature in 50 Mustang and Super Fords magazine. Possibly the first twin turbocharged 2011. You know, although this is a Celine car, it's the first 2011 twin turbo car, period, with the 5-liter engine, the new 5-liter engine. So it's a benchmark car, one of the first ever built, so making history. History in the making.
What we're doing now is something that Enzo Ferrari did a long, long time ago. We're doing it on the other side of the pond. So we're going to take these cars over there where there's already a great name and show people what American muscle is truly about and the pinnacle of an American supercar.
The feedback we got from the European dealers is overwhelming. They can't wait to get this car there. They can't wait to drive it. And dollar per horsepower, this car is second to none in the market, and they're very excited about it. Yeah, the impact with the European dealers has been overwhelming. We have contacted several Ford dealers, Ferrari dealers, Porsche dealers. Everybody over there is excited about this car, about the horsepower it produces, the dollar per horsepower price tag. They're very excited about it. It's an import to them, where a Ferrari or a Lamborghini or a Porsche is an import over here to us. So it's different. There's nothing like it over there, and they're very excited about getting this car into Europe, as are we.
You look at this car and how can you not get excited? I mean, the car speaks volumes, it speaks for itself, and when you mat the car in third gear and put the gas pedal down, it's like a roller coaster ride you get to ride over and over again. Once again, the car speaks for itself, and you know, the addition of the twin turbos just totally puts this car over the top from a performance aspect, and we're very excited to take on this endeavor.
And I may add, it's the first twin turbo car in the 2011 Mustang in the world.
So we're sitting here tonight in Jake LaMotta's shop from LaMotta Performance, and we're talking about the world's first 5-liter twin turbo, and we're obviously talking about a prototype kit that has not gone to market yet, but will be going soon. And the kit was a collaboration between Rick Head of XL Turbo, Supercars of America, me and Tony Lanham, and Jake LaMotta of LaMotta Performance. Jake is the guy that's responsible for the build on this car, tuning the vehicle, and helping us get this car to market. So with that being said, I'll turn it over to Jake and obviously let him tell us a little bit of the technical aspects of what kind of turbos we're using, what kind of power the car makes, and other little tidbits that are obviously quite interesting. So we're starting out with a twin turbo, dual ball bearing turbo, correct, Jay?
415 horsepower, 32 valve, 5-liter Mustang. which Brian approached me. They wanted to do a twin turbo kit, which everybody was saying was impossible. But thanks to my friend Rick at Exile Turbo, they were able to make that happen. From there, they took the car here. We finished the car up, had it tuned, fuel system, and what we ended up with is a car that makes over 550 horsepower at the rear tire, 580 foot-pounds of torque on pump gas, which is pretty silly to have. The car is still very drivable. Uses a Garrett ball bearing turbo, which is pretty much an OEM style turbo, water cooled, air-to-air intercooler. We put a twin disc clutch in it to handle the extra power.
47 pound an hour injectors.
47 pound an hour injectors. We're using SCT software to tune the vehicle. It's pretty much a silly vehicle.
It's silly.
It's very silly.
And one of the most crazy things to me and you, Jake, is from the maiden voyage kind of in the car is the way the car hooks up. I mean, you can obviously floor the car in first gear and the car just goes, which is, to me, really reminiscent of an import, of an M3 or something like that, to where you actually, the car goes. It's not normal for a Mustang to make 500 at the tire and not spin all the way down the road. So that was something that me and you initially were kind of shocked over.
Well, it's not only that, it's just the way the power is brought into the vehicle. The way this engine is managed with the 4 camshafts that are variable valve timing, the power band is smooth completely throughout, and it just pulls from the time you hit the throttle to the time you hit red line.
Linear power. And looking at some of the dyno sheets that we've done, baseline from your stock 5-liter car to this car, what were we talking about? At 4,000 RPMs, the car was making, what was it, 120 more horsepower?
120 more horsepower and over 200 more foot-pounds of torque.
4,000 RPMs, wasn't it? Was it even lower than that?
Yes.
Yeah. So we're talking about a car that is extremely significant and something that's not out there every single day in an application like this, and definitely the first of its kind and a groundbreaking vehicle. So that's why we're so excited here at LaMotta Performance tonight.
Unfortunately, we know that the chance of this ever hitting the U.S. market as an emission legal kit is pretty slim to none.
Correct.
It is pretty much why Celine, SMS, Roush has pretty much cut down and are pretty much using superchargers, because the chances of making a turbo kit emission legal in all 50 states is slim to none.
Yeah.
So this kit will be offered, but
it will be a tuner kit.
Yes.
And the significance of Supercars of America being able to do this as a distribution arm for SMS Supercars is the emissions. We're talking about not having to deal with the emissions in the United States into the European Union, and we can take these cars and sell these cars with the twin turbo kits on them, and that's kind of the significance of the distribution for us, is to have the ability to do this. Kind of, in my personal perspective, what Jake's done and the amount of time that he's done it in is truly amazing. There's nobody better, and we've been friends and done business over the last 12 or 15 years, and to see Jake get this excited to do something like this it's been a thrill for me, and I know my partner Tony as well, and to see him smile from ear to ear in a car that's got 200 miles on it is a lot of fun. So.
the car stock is advertised at 415 horsepower flywheel. At the rear wheels is about 370. Now a car that's making 550 at the rear tires is making slightly more than 600 at the flywheel. Now the big thing with this turbo kit is the torque. There has been a single turbo kit made for the 5-liter, a couple, Whipple makes a supercharger for it, ProCharger, Vortec, everybody's making kits. Nobody's kit is even coming close to the amount of torque this vehicle makes. I know the Whipple kit with 9 pounds, their advertised 625 flywheel is making 530 foot-pounds of torque flywheel. This vehicle is making 580 foot-pounds of torque on 7 pounds of boost.
It is a lot of fun to drive.
It's silly. On the stock engine, the boost is going to stay where it's at because unfortunately the 5-liter is not designed from the factory to have that much more boost put into it. It does not have a correct rod and piston for the application, but we have already been talking about in the next project we'll have a piston and rod kit, and this vehicle with this kit will make 700 at the tire.
And that we will lower the compression with the piston and rod
Compression will be
kit.
slightly lowered. Hopefully with 700 at the tire, we're going to be able to achieve that with less than 15 pounds of boost.
And what is the factory compression on the car, Jay?
11 to 1.
11 to
I'm
1.
just going to drop it down to 10 to 1.
10 to 1 and just turn the boost up. Factory manifolds are good, what, Jake? Probably 8 pounds a side, 7, 8 pounds a side. Are they good at that or no? 10 pounds, we should be able to make 10 pounds. Yeah, so 5 a side.
700 at the tire is going to be pretty much 800 flywheel.
And this car made at 541 on the first run, it made 622, 622 horsepower at the flywheel, and what, 580 pound-feet of torque to the flywheel is another 660. So a lot of horsepower and a lot of torque, and a very, very short amount of time.
Yeah.
The reason that we chose SMS supercars is there's really nobody on the planet that builds a better car. And when you're talking about, obviously, Steve Saleen, the reputation precedes itself. Nobody's done over the last 25 years, no manufacturer's built more cars and brought more products to market than Steve. And as everybody knows, the reputation is there, and that's for good reason. So. Once again, I think that it was a perfect fit for us, knowing the family and having a lot of history there, and obviously the product that he brings to market once again. So that was the determining factor for us on really chasing this deal and the beginning of the whole story. Yeah, the S7 is the most winning race car that's ever been on a track in Europe, which really is going to give us lots of credibility to go over and do our deal. So that's kind of how it all started. The Challenger is phenomenal. The Mustang is obviously just come out, and with a few modifications from Supercars of America, we definitely have a winning product on our hands.